You know, whenever I see parentheses of the author talking to the audience, I always have high hopes for the stories. And by high hopes, I mean none at all. Hello, Marvelous, I'm Ray, and welcome back to Fanfiction Monday. Today we're going to be reading a Ib story, which I feel like Ib is more niche, to be honest. It is a RPG Maker horror game, which, as much as I don't like playing horror games, I like watching people play the RPG Maker ones just because they're always interesting, and Ib is actually one of my favorites. It's like Ib and then Misaki, which are like my two top favorites that I've always been meaning to play. Except I'm a little bitch, so of course I haven't. But yeah, so this is, of course, as always, X-Reader, because those happen to be the best stories. Like, I don't care what anyone else says. Those are always the most interesting for me to read, because it's just I don't know. I just don't fucking know. It's called Garry X-Reader, Another World. So it's gonna be a good time, fam. It's gonna be a fucking good time. Chapter 1. No. You called for Garry while falling. You saw him reaching out for you. You were just about to grab his hand when both of you splashed in the water. No! You screamed. You sank through the water and felt yourself fall through the water instead of hitting the ocean floor. What? Wait, what? 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 You remember hitting solid ground and hearing another oof before you blacked out.
You'd somehow entered another realm in this painted world.
Wait. We're already a good start when I have already no idea the fuck's happening. I thought that was just one fucking painting that was the portal down. No. I should just stop.
I'm so mean making you have to scroll down to see what happens next. Fine here.
Look, alright. This is gonna be a trip. Garry's point of view. I hit a hard floor while saying oof. I looked up to see... Oh, that's supposed to be my name? I'm going back with the weebish ass name because I fucking can. I looked up to see Yuki hitting the floor and blacking out. I ran over to her and took off my mysteriously dry jacket and wrapped her in it. She looked so cute and peaceful when she was asleep. I looked around and realized that I was in a house. Good painting. So realistic, except for the small smudges. This is already going a very weird direction. I saw a bedroom, so I walked back to where Yuki was, picked her up, and laid her on one of the beds in the room. She's so different. As in amazing different. I walked out and let her sleep.
Yuki is sleeping, XD.
Let's call it that, fam. Whatever you said. I looked around again and found a vase with water. I put it on the cabinet beside the bed Yuki was in on. I left a note on it explaining about her rose. I found it and left it beside the note. I walked outside for a while and checked the place out. End of Garry's point of view. No one's point of view. You woke up and read a note on the cabinet beside your bed and realized how valuable your rose was. It was your favorite color. Then you realized you weren't where you had landed. Wait! Hold on! Hold. How does Garry know this, though? They literally just got here. How does Garry know about the roses already? Like, I'm pretty sure Ib found out through trial and error because she was like, oh, I'm damaged. Put the rose in the vase. Oh, I'm better now. Okay, this rose in my life. That's cool, fam. Already off to a great start. You got up and decided to look around the room you were in, and then you thought of Garry. Wait, where is he? You questioned yourself. So you looked out a window for a while. You know, wondering where your boyfriend is. Looking out a window, being like, maybe I should go look for him. Nah. Suddenly, after a while of daydreaming, you heard a voice from behind you. It said, "Our game of hide and seek is over. Now I found you." You turned around to see Mary, and she was holding a knife. She laughed. "I should have been there with you, not Garry." She screamed, still laughing, while tears trickled down her cheeks. She started advancing towards you, raising her knife. You screamed and ran outside with a crazy, laughing Mary on your trail. When you got outside, you saw Garry and screamed out his name. He turned and saw you. Then he saw Mary, and that's when his eyes widened with shock and fear. "Yuki!" he screamed. You ran into him, and without thinking, he picked you up bridal style, running as fast as he could. After a
really long
time of running, Garry had lost Mary. He fell to his knees, still holding you. "You okay?" he asked, wheezing. You found it adorable how he was so selfless. He left you down softly. Then you remembered his jacket. Even after running, he looked as if the cold was starting to get to him, even though he was trying his best not to show it. Then you said, "Yeah, I should be asking you that after all that running." You and Garry both giggled. "Yes, I am," he answered to that point. "Oh, yeah, here's your jacket." You outstretched your arms with the jacket in it. "Are you sure? What if you get cold?" he questioned. "Yes, silly, I won't get cold," you giggled. Garry smiled at this while tilting his head because he found it so cute. "Come on then, it might get dark soon," he said while putting on his jacket. Look, alright. I never promised this was actually going to be good. I just promised it was going to be an adventure, and... well, We got an adventure, alright. Why the fuck would Mary be chasing with a knife if she wanted her to go, if she wanted the MC to go with her and not Garry? Like, why would she try, like, attack Garry with a knife? What the fuck? Like, what? That's not how yanderes work. Chapter 2. Gravely Greeting. You and Garry found a place called the World of Beautiful Nightmares. It was filled with comfortable beds. You and Garry thought it wouldn't hurt to sleep in this unknown place for one night. And that's how they all die. They find a nice, comfortable bed, and they decide to take a nice little nap. And the next thing you know, you're stabbed in the chest 52 times. Specifically, 52 times. You both spoke to each other for a little while. Presently, you said goodnight to each other before falling into the world of peaceful darkness, or in other words, to sleep. Your dream. You were running through a beautiful forest with Garry. He looked at you and smiled. His smile got wider and wider, and black ink was coming from it. His eyes went black and ink ran down from them. He then began to change form until he became Mary. The forest grew darker, and now you were running away from Mary. You saw Garry standing beside a tree. Everything began to go into slow motion. Garry's face was filled with horror. You looked behind you to see Mary. She whispered in your ear, "I'll eliminate anyone in my way to be your friend." She then sped past you and stabbed Garry. "Yuki!" he screamed as Mary began to drag you away. "No! Garry!" The dream ended. What? You woke up to find Garry shaking you awake. "Yuki! Yuki! You were screaming out my name and crying. What happened?" He began. You told him about your nightmare, and he held you in a tight embrace and kissed your forehead. "I had the same dream. I won't let her take you away from me." He then gave you a slight smile and showed you his rose. "She won't touch any of our roses either," he whispered. You and Garry carried on in your journey until you came across a sign that said, "Goddess Graves up ahead. Enter." You and Garry walked into the graveyard. You heard a voice that told you and Garry to find all the goddesses' graves. You and Garry did this with ease. Suddenly, a beautiful woman covered in a white dress appeared. She had black curly hair that was floating with pale skin that was white and fully white eyes. She was very tall. Garry ran in front of you in a protective way. The lady spoke with a loud and echoing voice. "I am Goddess Talenia, daughter of Goddess Olindia, and what is your business here, mortals?" "We need to find a way out of here, miss," you said hopefully. "Interesting. You wish for no power or wealth?" she asked. "None," you said. "You are good-hearted. I shall grant your wish, child. Anything else?" she exclaimed. Are you a real goddess?" you asked. "No, only for mortals. I would have never been created. Good luck on your journey, young ones," she answered before fading with a beautiful smile on her face. A map appeared and started floating down to you. "Well then, let's go," Garry said, smiling. You and Garry walked out of the graveyard hand in hand.
Ooh!
Out of nowhere, 3 big 10-headed spiders started chasing you and Garry. Garry screamed, and it was so funny. "Ah, it's silly Garry screaming in the heart of terror, you know." After 10 minutes of running, Garry had had enough. He stopped, turned around, and stomped over to the spiders who had now stopped chasing you and Garry. They were surprised to see someone standing up against them. "Listen here, you ugly 8-legged hydras," he said, pointing his finger down their faces. "We've had absolutely enough of running away from everything we see. Cop on and start trying to kill us," he shouted boldly into their faces. "Look, that's not what you say to something chasing you, alright? I'm pretty sure they're chasing you to kill you, fam. Alright, like, Garry, what the fuck?" They looked at him confusingly before screeching at him. He screamed again and ran, picking up bridal style in the process. "Can I have a look at that map, please?" he asked. "Yeah, sure," you said, holding it up so you can see it. You and Garry found out that you had to go through the Pulling House, the Dying Heavens, and the Little Girl's Forest. You and Garry had got away safely from the spiders, but your next challenge was in front of you. You read a sign that said, "The Pulling House. Enter." You and Garry slowly entered the house. And another fucking cliffhanger. Thanks, fam. Why do I feel like this isn't, like, did you just kind of take the concept of the game and then just make your own story? Because I feel like that's what just happened. I feel like that's what happened. I don't know. It's been a long time since I even, like, seen anything about the game. Like, it's been way too long. Maybe I'll just actually play it after this episode. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to be the last chapter I do, because fuck it. Chapter 3. House. More like hell. You and Garry entered and walked around as you saw a big hall with a spiraling staircase leading to the upstairs. You and Garry were checking the place out when you saw a figure walking around upstairs. Completely forgetting about Garry, as if in a trance, you walked up the black spiraling staircase. When you got to the top of the stairs, you saw a long hall that led to a room with a black door. There was another door beside the stairs, but you wanted to check the other one out first. You cautiously advanced towards the door. When you got to the door, you prepared yourself and entered. You peeked in to see the room was all black, including the furniture. You looked over to the bed to see a girl sitting on it, playing with what looked like a tablet. She had dark brown hair with red streaks, one blue eye and one red eye, and she wore a completely black vest with black leggings. She was quite thin, and she seemed to be wearing a lot of makeup. She looked up at you, not very amused, with "I don't really care about anything" eyes, then looked back at her tablet. So she's basically a goth kid. Or like a middle school goth kid. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. Her eyes widened and looked back at you. "You're real?" she asked, quite surprised. "Yeah?" you said, not knowing what to do. "Oh, cool. Hi, Yuki. I'm Verson. Go away now. I'm texting my friends. By the way, don't go into my sister's room by the stairs. She's insane. Literally. Don't be tricked by the house either. It has a name for a reason. It will try to keep you and Garry inside. Forever. BTW, I don't know why," she answered. "Wait, how do you know our names?" you asked. "I'd say every painting in this dimension knows who you two are. It's the top story. Some of us don't care enough about your existence in this dimension, like me. Well, most of us. It's just Mary can control a lot of us. Not me, thank goodness. I don't want to be wasting my time chasing two humans," she explained. Just then a cat began to rub against your leg and hopped up beside Verison. She stroked it and said, "Don't touch my cats. They won't harm you if you don't harm them." Thanks?" you said, closing the door. "'Kay," she said, focusing on her tablet once again. Thanks, fam. Is this, again, I don't remember much of the game, so I don't know if she was actually a character, but I feel like she wasn't. Like, that doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. You stood outside her sister's door and put your ear up to it. You know, like that thing she told you to not fucking do was go to her sister's room because her sister's in... I feel like my character's as white as I am. Alright, it's always white people who are the dumbasses in horror movies. And this is why, because they do shit like this. I know you're there. Now, go find something to do before I kill you, you heard a dark voice say. You turned around and had the living daylight scared out of you, but thankfully it was only Garry. A very worried Garry. Sorry, I'll explain later, you said, ashamed. Garry smiled and said, "Just as long as you're safe." You and Garry walked down the stairs together. You explained everything to Garry, and so you looked around the house for a while. "It's no use," Garry said, quite frustrated. "I know, we'll ask Verison," you said. You and Garry made your way up the stairs again. You knocked on her door and she said, "Come in." "What is it?" "Oh, hi, Garry." "Well?" she said in an annoyed tone. "Can you tell us where—" you began. "The portal's up in the attic. It's the stairs beside my bedroom," she interrupted. "Thanks again," you tried to say. "'Kay," she said quickly. You and Garry walked up to the attic. You lost your step and fell right into Gary's face, which sent you and him flying down the stairs. Verison looked out the door with her cat peeking out behind her to see your butt in Gary's face. She took a picture and entered her room again. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Garry. Are you okay?" You almost screamed. "Yeah, I'm okay. You?" he said in a daze. You quickly got off of him and helped him up. Yeah," you said, looking away and blushing. You and Garry once again walked up the stairs with no accidents. When you got up there, you saw the portal. Suddenly, the door of the attic closed, flinging Garry down the stairs. "Garry!" you screamed as you tried to open the door. You figured it was locked because it didn't even budge. You started to look around. Suddenly, you heard someone outside the door. "Garry?" you questioned, your eyes filled with hope. "Sorry, it's Verison. Garry is knocked out and the door is locked," she said in a worried tone. "No kidding, as if I didn't know that already," you said, annoyed. "But there's things in there. I never really went anywhere, but I definitely never went to the attic because I always knew there was something in there. We've got to get you out before anything finds out that you're in there." She surprisingly had a very scared tone. You turned around to see those scary children that were in the painting you and Ib were looking around. Too late," you screamed as they all inched closer to you. The behavior was very like a zombie's because they all groaned, seemed to be moving very slowly, and many had lost a few body parts. Well, that's just racist against zombies. You're gonna fucking stereotype that they're zombies just because they act like zombies? That is discriminatory against zombies, and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm just gonna keep going. "Help!" you screamed. "Yuki, what's going on in there?" you heard a very familiar voice say. "Garry, there are zombie kids trying to kill me!" you screamed as they got closer. "It's okay, I'm going to try to help. Just wait a minute," he shouted. At this point, you were now crying. "Stay with us forever," you finally heard what the zombie kids were saying. "Yuki, get away from the door!" Garry shouted before you hurriedly scrambled away for a zombie to grab you. You heard a few thuds on the door before it finally gave way, revealing Verison and Garry. "Let her go!" they said in unison. Garry grabbed you and pulled you into a tight embrace. Verison began to hover over the ground before shouting, "Get out of my house before I get my sister to destroy you all!" You heard a dark voice say, "Destroy what now?" in an interested tone. In a puff of smoke, a girl with dark blonde hair with purple streaks, blue eyes, wearing a black top and black jeans appeared with a giant scythe. Again, it's the Hot Topic sisters, apparently. "You've messed with the wrong sisters," she roared, swinging her scythe, making the zombies disintegrate immediately. "Don't pester me for another 10 years or you'll end up like them, sis. I'll only help if it's killing someone. Like now." "Oh, they're here. It'd be so rude of me not to introduce myself. The name's Yesterin," she said with a satisfied smirk on her face. "I think you should go before anything else tries to drag you away again. It was fun having you here," Verison exclaimed. "Thanks," he replied before pulling her into a hug. She was surprised at first and hesitated before finally hugging back. "Okay," she said quite expectedly. He walked over to Yesterin. "Hey, I don't do hugs, kid," she said, pulling away. "Oh, okay, and thanks," he replied. "No prob, kid," she said while cleaning the inside of her nail. You looked over to Garry and he nodded while gesturing for you to come. Both of you entered the portal while turning around and waved to the girls, who waved back before you left and entered the next realm. And that's all I'm reading today because what? I haven't seen or played or anything to do with Ib in a while, but I'm pretty sure that none of this is in there. Like, I don't think that Yesterin and Vesterin are in here. I don't know. I may have to find out now because for an X reader story, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It could have been worse. I mean, it had the Hot Topic sisters, and it had that weird moment with Yandere Mary, but you know, what you gonna do, fam? But yeah, so that's another world. Garry X Reader fanfiction. So I hope you guys enjoyed that bullshit of a time because I sure as hell did actually, surprisingly. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos, recommend me fanfictions, whether the actual fandom or the fanfiction. I'm always up for suggestions. If you want to finish this fanfiction up for yourself, I'll be putting it down in the description below, so you can check it out there. Don't forget to stay mythical. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, my lovelies.